Good morning. What's happening? Man, I slept absolutely phenomenal last night in comparison to the past few nights down in Phoenix. Up here near Flagstaff, it was, I think, 77 when I last looked at the temperature last night before I went to bed. In comparison to the 100-degree nights that I've been sleeping in down in Phoenix, this was absolutely delightful. I had the fan going, I had the windows open, and everything was good to go. I'm going on a trip. I know that seems kind of crazy. It sounds kind of crazy. It feels kind of crazy to say that because I feel like I'm on one big trip all the time. You see, living full-time in the 4Runner, it's kind of hard to get excited about trips, you know. I'm going to end up in Silverton, Colorado next week. I'm meeting up with my buddies. I've met up with them for the past 3 years. We love going wheeling out there camping. It's always a fun time. I can't wait to do it. Before that, I'm actually meeting another buddy in Sand Hollow in Utah. He's coming out from South Carolina. I'm going to meet him in Sand Hollow. I've never been to Sand Hollow. I'm going to do some wheeling with them in Sand Hollow. From there, I'm going to start making my way over to Silverton. It's going to be a full-on trip. But yeah, I'm wrapping up everything that I've got here in Arizona. And man, I can't wait to leave. I've been in Arizona for way too long, man. I feel like I live here. I love Arizona, but I'm ready to get the hell out of Arizona, man. So getting all my shit together and getting ready to go. I'm about to make some coffee, and then I'm going to do a little bit of editing, which I'm extremely behind on. 2 years behind on. Bear with me, guys. I apologize. I've been so busy living that I have really slacked off on the editing to share my my experiences. So honestly, it's a little bit of a writer's block situation. And what I mean by that is living out here and doing this full time, I don't get as excited about things as someone who, is just doing this on the weekend or something like that. So a lot of times it's hard for me to put together a good story, but I'm working on it. So bear with me. I got everything pretty much wrapped up on Apple. She's almost done. I'm waiting on one more package, but other than that, let me take you through some of the stuff that I've done so far. Huge upgrade is this Bash Fab 2 bumper. I wanted something that was minimal, functional, and a little stylish too, and I would say Chad over at Bash Fab absolutely nailed it. Of course, Franklin is riding right up front there. Franklin got picked up. I saved him from King of the Hammers out in the middle of the lake bed. Somebody had thrown him into a fire. So I decided to hook him up to the front of Apple here and let him see the world. And he's been riding ever since. It's been a few months now. All of the folks that have been worried over the years for not having a winch, worry no more. I have a winch. Open road 13,000 pound winch. I have not used it yet. Stay tuned. I hope to not use it, but you know how that goes. I'll do a whole separate video on it. But yeah, 13,000 pound open road winch attached to the Bash Fab bumper. After 193,000 miles, the suspension on Apple has taken quite the abuse. Last year I did a suspension lift, an OME suspension lift from Yoda Mafia, and then I did SPC uppers, but I kept going through ball joints. So Total Chaos, baby. Uniball upper control arms from Total Chaos. While doing that, you might as well do lower control arms with new ball joints. So those are OE, straight from Toyota, lower control arms with new ball joints. Also from Total Chaos are these spindle gussets that help strengthen up that spindle, which is a weak point in these 4Runners. Huge shout out to Ben over at Arizona Toy Pros in Mesa, Arizona for not only housing Apple and taking care of her, but also getting everything installed and dialed in right. I have full-time power so that way I can power up the 𝐼𝐶, and with full-time power, I've been doing pretty well, but it's a constant dance to charge up all my electronic devices. So enter the Bluetti EB55. This is a portable power solution, and as you see, it has 4 AC outlets, 4 USB outlets. I can do DC input there, or I can do solar input, and then also DC output. It has 700 watts, and it has 537 watt hours. The folks over at Rhino Rack came through with a 270 Batwing awning, and man, this thing is an absolute game changer when it comes to providing shade. I was a bit worried about how the back hatch was going to perform with this awning, but so far, so good. I don't see any issues at all. And I took the 8-foot awning on that side and put it on this side, so now I am shaded up, baby. The other upgrade that you can't really see is I got a Banks pedal monster, and this is basically a throttle controller that helps manipulate the throttle a little bit. I'll give you my full thoughts and opinions on it in a full dedicated video after I test it for a little while, but yeah, so far so good. Now this is a pretty nifty mod that anyone can do. This is like less than 20 bucks. I put these two guys right there these two guys right here, Tefla screen, baby. That's gonna be a game changer when it comes to navigation. That's Apple, man. She is dialed more now than ever before. The new front end suspension components have that thing driving perfect down the road. Tight steering, straight in line, no more clanks, no more clatters, no more clunks, no more rattles. I mean, just, it's a dream, man. And you know, the new bumper, the new winch, and I've got way more capability than I've ever had before, so I can't wait to put all this stuff to the test. Now, I may still need to get some new wheels. I'll probably end up going with the TRD Pro wheel just for a little bit more offset. I think it's like 11 millimeters of offset. There is a really tight clearance between the spindle gusset and the stock 4Runner trail wheels, which they told me that was going to be the case. It's so tight, actually, that I had to go and get the inside wheel weights taken off and put sticky weights on because the wheel weights were actually clanking on the gusset. So I'll probably end up doing that. Stay tuned for that. But at any rate, man, she is dialed, and I can't wait to go out and put her to the test. Well, it's about 12:30. I got a little bit of editing done. The laptop's dead. My power bank's dead. And it looks like I got 11.7 volts on the voltmeter over there, so the truck's almost dead too. I guess there's really nothing else I could do other than start her up and go for a drive. And what better place to drive to when it's 90 degrees in Arizona than my favorite little natural spring. So I think I'm gonna pack up and head on down to the natural spring and maybe take a dip in some nice ice cold natural spring water. Man, dude, I am tired. Today has been a long day. Hung out at the watering hole long enough to drink a spiked lemonade, which was truly fantastic. During the day, while I was at the grocery store, I noticed a grinding sound, and I narrowed it down to where it was definitely coming from the brakes, and then the grinding progressively got a little bit worse, and then by the time I got down the mountain to the watering hole, it was really bad, so on the way back up, I could really hear it. So I found an O'Reilly, pulled into the O'Reilly, jacked it up to try to diagnose the problem. I knew it had to do something with the brakes because the pitch would change whenever I hit the brakes. Found out that the right rear brake pad is completely shot. I mean, that thing was down to the bare metal. So I had to do a pad slap, if you will, in the middle of the O'Reilly parking lot. And then after that, it was almost 8:45. So rather than coming back to camp and cooking, I decided to go grab some food in town. Your boy is beat, man. That's the current situation. Catch you guys in the mañana. Good morning, you wonderful people. Today is the start of a pretty cool little journey. I'll be making my way up towards Sand Hollow. I don't know that I'm going to get to Sand Hollow today. I'll probably stop somewhere midway. I don't know. And I'm going to meet Jim with the Sequoia over at Sand Hollow. If you haven't seen the episode of Badass Builds I did with Jim Sequoia, well, you should probably check it out because it is definitely a badass build. At any rate, I'm going to meet him in Sand Hollow. We're going to do a little bit of wheeling. And then from there, I'm going to head over towards Telluride and Silverton area of Colorado and meet the boys. It should be fun, so let's roll. Bye, beautiful Arizona, for now. Damn, that's not as bad as I thought it was. We might make it today. I mean, it is only about 8 o'clock for those keeping time. All right, I've decided that I'm not going to go all the way out to Sand Hollow today because the temperature tonight, nighttime temperature, is supposed to be like 90 degrees, and I don't want to sleep in that any more than I have to. I'm not supposed to meet Jim there until tomorrow, so that works out anyway. Tonight here, where I'm at currently, I think the temperature is supposed to be like 60s, 70s, so I can deal with that. Right now, it is blazing hot, and I mean, you can tell I'm out in the middle of the desert, but it's about 100 degrees. Again, tonight it's supposed to be pretty decent tonight. So looking forward to that. About to lay out some shade, and I guess I'll enjoy this crappy scenery. Huh? Look at that big ass hole in the ground. I mean, I guess technically it's still like waterside camping, right? Like, I mean, that's a river. Does it count? Pretty crazy. You can hear the wind coming from over there. It's like a big gust is about to happen or something. Wild. Oh, here it comes. Like, I thought somebody was pulling up over there is when I first heard it. Like, it sounded like there was a car coming. It was just the wind traveling across the land. That is wild. I'm gonna attempt to deploy the awning, and hopefully it doesn't get blown to shreds out here. The wind is on and off, but it's mainly down in the canyon, so hopefully it'll be all right. The biggest thing is just getting it set up before a wind gust grabs it. Dude, this batwing awning, man, is super legit. I mean, you saw how quick it is to set up and deploy. It goes away just like that too. Definitely digging this. And the amount of shade it gives you is remarkable. It's a hell of a lot better than those standard, like, straight 8-foot awnings like I have on the other side. So I got one stake in. I got some rocks over here. Rocks right here. And this is pretty cool. Comes with these cool little S-hooks. It's pretty nice. I don't think that I'm going to do that awning because this ground is just too hard to put a stake into. The good news is we've got shade now. I don't know if I can pick it up on the camera, but that little speck that you see down there, they're kayaking or rafting or whatever they're doing on the Colorado River there. Uh-oh. My rocks are holding up. My stake needs a little help. I'm chilling in the back of the truck and just trying to stay out of the heat, waiting for the sun to go down, and then I'll start cooking dinner because it's just entirely too hot. It's about 6 or 7 o'clock, so hopefully it should be going down here soon. However, the sun is starting to come in now because, well, it's setting, and that's what it does. So the shade is no longer keeping me shaded. Other fun fact of what's going on is the iPad is almost dead. My battery bank is almost out. And the phone is also almost dead. Now, I can plug everything in and charge it up, but the issue is the phone's too hot and the iPad's too hot to charge, so it won't charge. I guess, you know, it being 100 degrees out here is not helping that any. The other thing is the signal is like in and out, and, you know, I'm a millennial, so I'm trying to get my screen time in. I think I'm about to start cooking dinner. I'm kind of hungry. It's about 7:30. The sun obviously has not gone down yet. I'm using this old trick. If you hold your arm all the way out, the camera kind of messes up the perspective here, but if you hold your arm all the way out, and then each finger represents about 15 minutes, and I don't know if this really works or not, but according to that old tale, whatever you will, we got about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes before the sun goes down, so let's try it out. 7:45 now. Well, 7:43. But 7:45 roughly. So we'll check back whenever the sun goes down below the horizon and see what's up. Here's a quick pro tip for you guys. Obviously, it's kind of hard to get perfectly level surfaces everywhere you go. Rather than trying to level out the table though, what I do is I actually level out the stove. Out here there's a plethora of rocks, so it's easy to find some rocks. But yeah, I just throw some rocks down there and then level it out that way. For tonight's dinner, I got some leftover beef from when I made birria ramen. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Apparently I pronounced it wrong. Anyway, I'm gonna throw that in the skillet, heat it up. I got some shells back there somewhere. And then I've got some pickled jalapenos, which by the way, these are thebomb.com. Highly, 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 highly recommend these. Only this brand though. They're super fantastic. Then I got some pico here. Yeah. We're gonna have some burritos, and then I got a avocado, I think, floating around over there with this. I mean, I'm telling you, I got all new goodies for this trip. So this stove is actually brand new. I had the same exact stove, but it took a tumble, and this piece came unattached from it, and Camp Chef sent me on a brand new stove because of it. So Yeah, shout out to CashApp for hooking us up. This right here is the cleanest that it'll probably be. All my stoves have notoriously gotten filthy quick because, well, I'm a messy cook, which means I'm also a good cook. Now, that's what everybody else says, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't get this figure from eating carrots, so I think I'm a pretty good cook. Maybe one day you'll get to be the judge. Damn, almost forgot. I also got rice to go in these burritos. That's a pretty pivotal part of the burrito, you know what I'm saying? In regards to this fire back here, a really good resource to keep in your toolkit, if you will, is a website called NCWeb, and I'll leave the website right down here. This website will show you all the active fires and what the status of those fires are in the areas that you choose. Not bad, not bad, not bad, huh? Well, y'all thought that I was just gonna do some kind of hack job on rolling too, I bet, right? Nah, playa. Hey, look, that sun is almost down. Let's check what time it is. Bro, the finger trick works, man, because it is 8:32, nearly an hour from when I said it was going to be about an hour before it went down. Dope. So the next edition that I'm going to show you guys is more for morale than anything else. I mean, y'all don't have lasers at camp? Why not? You should. They're actually super cool and puts off a good vibe. Man, I'm having to call a early night and get in the truck, man, because there's some kind of bug that's flying and biting, and I don't know what it is, and there's not enough bats running around out there to catch them all, so they keep on coming to me and biting on me. It's all good. I'll just move the vibe inside, you know what I mean? Good morning. Check out this view that absolutely does not suck. I mean, that'll work, right? Just got done wrapping up coffee. I think I'm about to pack up and hit the road. It's about 3.5 hours to get to Sand Hollow from here where I'm meeting Jim. Oh, look, hummingbird. That's pretty cool. I literally see hummingbirds everywhere, all across the nation. Hummingbirds are kind of special to me, which is kind of crazy that I see them all over the place. So I was raised by all women. My great-great-grandmother, my great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, my great-aunt, my great-great-aunt, all of them had a hand in raising me. And the hummingbird's still hanging around the truck, which is pretty neat. At any rate, every single one of them were absolutely obsessed with hummingbirds, loved hummingbirds, and they used to put out feeders and all this. And I used to watch and wait and try to see hummingbirds my whole entire life. I did not see the first hummingbird until I was 30 years old. And that was, I thought they were like a mystical creature. Now, fast forward, I'm 37 years old now. I travel full time. For the past 2 years traveling full time, I see hummingbirds nearly every single day. At any rate, like I was saying, I'm going to meet Jim in St. George, which is probably about 3.5 hours away. I'm going to go ahead and finish getting packed up and everything and then hit the road. So I'm still getting the hang of putting this thing away. I'll tell you though, it's for the most part, it's super easy. Now, obviously, I've already taken the stakes out. Well, the one stake, and then I untied my rocks and everything. But I think the trick is taking it down exactly how you put it up, but backwards. Last thing I did whenever I was deploying it was stake it down. So the first thing I do whenever I'm putting it up is take the stakes up, and then I put the legs up, and then I wrap it all up. Anyway, it's pretty simple. Check it out. And then it just kind of like snaps into these little pieces here on the end, which is pretty nice. Ta-da! I don't know why, but that seems so much more simple than that other awning that I have that I gotta roll. It might not be, it might just be an illusion, but it feels like it's a lot simpler. Bye, beautiful hole in the earth. Look what I can do. All right, y'all get the idea? I'm driving. Does it compute? I have arrived. St. George, where it's nice and 110 degrees. We got Jim with his badass Sequoia and his fancy trash bag. It's not too often you get to see a Sequoia that rocking that up front, huh? Or 37s for that matter. So being that it's so hot, we're gonna go do a little bit of swimming and some cold beer sipping, and then we're gonna save the wheeling for tomorrow. We're gonna get up early in the morning, go out to Sand Hollow, and yeah, today we're just gonna do some hanging out because I think he said that the temperature gauge in the Tacoma said 122. Wild. It's safe to say it's hot, way hot. So far, Sand Hollow is pretty cool. This is some deep ass sand though. Holy cow. Guess that's the reason for the name, I don't know. But it's definitely deep. Well, I don't think there's any better place to be whenever it's 120 degrees outside. This sand though is absolutely scalding hot. All right, so this is some deep, deep, deep sand. And well, I'm gonna have to skinny pedal it out, so just is what it is. There ain't no way around it. After hanging out in the sun all day, we had worked up quite an appetite, and it was time to go grab something to eat and chill for the rest of the evening so we could prepare what would be a really hard day of wheeling. You definitely don't want to miss that, so tune in next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for the video of us going through Sand Hollow. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button to see more videos like it. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications of new videos, and until next time, you guys keep hanging in there like a hair on a biscuit, and remember, you can be happy if you've a mind to. Peace, y'all.